Ah. Hello. Right, sorry for keeping you waiting there. I don't know what it is with me and Zoom, but it absolutely drives me up the freaking wall. Anyway, I'm really excited. I've got some notes, but like I said in the leader chat, I don't want this to just be me talking at everybody for 25 minutes. I'd like it to be a little bit more of me concentrated, bang, 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 15 minutes, say what I wanted to say, and then just open it up. So if anybody has any suggestions, any ideas, I think particularly considering we're all going to be meeting up, or most of us are going to be meeting up on Friday, it just makes sense that we continue that theme of we're all leaders, we're all collaborating, everyone's got something to bring to the team. Now, if you're not coming because you've not earned it or you're not quite at that level yet, that doesn't mean that you haven't got anything valuable to say. I genuinely mean it when I say that. Something special we have about Millionaire Mastery is that we have got such a broad spectrum of experience, expertise. Um, there's a two different words, aren't they? Two different meanings. And we bring different things to the community and especially the leadership community, which in turn helps everybody. Right, so we've got 10 days left of the month. I can't see any comments, which is a good thing because I get all squirrely. But if anybody has anything that pops to mind, straight away, pop it in the comments and then we'll circle back. And I hope that because I gave you all like 25, 30 minutes notice, that I said it was going to be engaging, that you've all at least prepared something that you want to contribute so we can have like the last 10, 15 minutes actually sharing some ideas so that we can end this month strong. So like I said, we've got the last 10 days of the month and it's this final week, this final last third of the month where we need to make sure that we're bringing that energy and that intention because that is what's going to create momentum. So most of you are old faces to these calls and we go through it's like the same thing that we do every month. It runs on like the same sort of cadence where we talk about the similar sorts of things around about the same times of the month. So this is nothing new and we all know that that energy momentum that we fire up into the end of the month propels us into the start of the next month. And it's often the middle where it gets a little bit wishy-washy. But fortunately, being in pharmacy, they pull out all sorts of surprises like sales, discounted products, amazing products that are discounted, and then extending these £5 sign-up offers. So they give us all the tools to help us push that up. Okay, people will naturally slow down, particularly if from the leadership trickling down, if they have slowed down. So it's on us, regardless at what level you're at now. I would take a moment. I always say after these calls, because especially the speed in which I speak and the energy and the passion that comes out, but mostly the speed, I think it's a really good time to just decompress, take a minute, and just readjust, reassess, look at your energy and think, right, okay, what needs to be done? What needs to be shifted? Because whether you are going right now at 100 miles an hour or maybe you've slowed down a bit, I think it's just a really good time to have a check in with yourself. And if you are going 100 miles an hour, are you busy? But are you busy doing not a lot? Are you being productive? Are you boshing out loads of content and being extremely visible, which is what the last couple of weeks challenges have been and what the focus has been on? But then we've got to ask ourselves, how is that relating to our roles as leadership? And how is that related in our business in terms of sales and recruitment? Are we following up with people? Are we asking for the business? It's great to be visible and be out there, but we cannot fall into that trap of waiting for people to come to us. So hopefully this first two-thirds of the month, you have increased your visibility, you have stepped out of those comfort zones, and you've encouraged your teams to do the same thing. Now it's a time where we need to be visibly accelerating, but not so much so that we are talking 100 miles an hour and being loud. We are being energetic, we are being intentional with it, and we're doing all of the activities that are going to yield the results from the work that we have put in. And we need to make sure that we are sharing those with the team to encourage them and lead by example so they know what it is that we need to be doing. And if they haven't been doing it, they can see because we've stepped up what happens when they do what you say to do. And it's not just because you're saying it, it's because you're doing it yourself. So visualize that feeling of finishing the month strong. Now, I know quite a few of you last month were running for like huge goals, and some of you absolutely smashed them. Please don't rest on your laurels and just sit down and think, oh, well, there's no major incentive now, because that's not what we're here for. We're here to not just maintain, we're here to level up. And I know some of you ran for huge goals last month and you fell a little bit short. That's fine. That was last month. We're not going to keep repeating the same thing month in, month out. So I want it to be visualizing that feeling of finishing strong rather than succumbing to that fear of falling short. And it is about mindset. So again, I will reiterate the importance of having moments every now and then. And I think particularly after calls like this, just have like 5 minutes to collect your thoughts and then go and energetically share about the lives and share about what you've learned and your direction for the next 10 days. Then do that. But have those 10 minutes with yourself just so that you can just decompress and just get into just really visualize what that looks like. Get your mindset checked. Make sure that you are set up strong for those next 10 days and be realistic with your time. What it is, what can you incorporate into your routine that is going to help make sure that your mindset is checked. So every single morning, for instance, you might want to be reaching out to those notes. I remember I used to put notes all over the place, those sticky notes. I keep forgetting the words for like really common things, like stitching. Stitching, it's sewing. I couldn't think of the words, so I said stitching. Anyway, but post-it notes, reminders. If you've got your vision board, just have those reminders somewhere on your screensaver so that you know what it is that you want to be doing. But rather than just primarily focusing on those KPIs, think about that mindset and what you're doing. Even if it's having 15 minutes to do Tony Robbins priming exercise in the morning, or to do some exercise, or to just have no electronic devices, maybe pick up a book. Or I remember doing this for a while, just sitting there for 10 minutes and not doing anything, just literally just being. Okay, and then you let your mind is going to naturally wander, but you can start your day strong. So you know what you've got to do because you're all over your numbers and you've got your KPIs and you've got your targets, you've got your goals, but it's your mindset that wants to be in check. This is not just a great activity to do for your business, it's great for your life. And I think a lot of us will concur that when we're in have an element of control over the things that are going on in our lives, it makes slipping in our business and doing the activities we need to do, not just to keep it going, but to actually be doing the income producing activities, the things we need for growth. It makes it that much easier. Reach out to your teams and reach out to your customers with some sense of urgency. Remind them of what the goals are if you're reaching out to somebody who is in your team, or if you've got a customer you've been having a conversation with. And with the nature of the business we do, a lot of times people will be vulnerable with us and they'll say that they want to feel more confident because they've hit a particular age and they're feeling a little bit frumpy and they just want something to energize themselves or whatever it is. Just reconnect with that person and just remember they trusted you in the first place to have that conversation and to open up. And you've got to have an element of professionalism about them, but go back to them and have some urgency. It's not about pressurizing people. It's not about pressurizing your team and going there and being down their throats. It's just having a way of encouraging them and just simply reminding them of what it was that they originally wanted, why they are here in your space right now, whether that's as a customer or as a team member, and just reminding of them that, and then offering your advice and your guidance, and then asking them to deliver, whether it's somebody in your team who's saying, yep, right, okay, you reminded me, yeah, I wanted to earn £100 by half term so that I could go and spend it all on pumpkins and sweets. Just remind them they can earn that. They can earn that in a day. They could earn that in the next couple of days, ready for when the kids break up on Friday. Or maybe it's a customer who said that they had a party in 3 weeks' time and they wanted to lose some weight and they've not got back to you, anything like time's ticking. Do you want to do that or not? Do you know, is it today or is it, oh, however you want to do it? Just ask for that business and don't be afraid to do it. Just have that urgency. And remember, if you're doing it with that element of professionalism, it's not about pressurizing somebody. You just basically reciprocating back on a conversation that you've already had, that they already trusted you with. Right, going back to energy, make sure that the energy that you are putting out is worth catching. Energy is contagious, and that's whether it's good or bad energy. Whatever energy is you're putting out there, it's going to stick to those people that are around you. So again, it's the kids. Make sure that you are having that time in your day to check in with your energy to make sure that you're showing up not just on social media, but in your messenger chats, in your one-to-ones that you're having with your team members, in the conversations that you're having with your customers, when you go out into the world, and even when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, check your energy. It all interlinks. Build belief through your stories. So again, if you remember a few weeks ago, might have been a few months ago now, we were talking about the importance of stories, how facts tell and stories sell. And I think particularly with us having this £5 sign-up offer, it can go one of two ways. When we only have it for a short amount of time, we might have all this urgency and we have an influx, a massive influx of people signing up. Sometimes it's not always the best thing, but I think would be foolish to not utilize it. Ollie, honestly, dogs tiptoeing. I think we'd be really foolish to let that slide because there are people out there who need this opportunity. And I think if you're leading with a £5 sign-up offer with a £30 Aloe Glow without doing all of the back work, so talking about the story, talking about your why, talking about customer testimonials and other influencer testimonials and all the different perks, if you're not going live and you're not doing reels or stories and you're not telling people about all of that, you're literally just selling yourself short. You're selling an incredible product for just £5. And then you're dropping your pants and you're giving them a 30% discount as well. I mean, it's lazy. And if we have an offer like that and we're not getting people signed up, it's not the offer, it's the proposition. It's how we are positioning that within our organization, within our brands, and within social media and how we're showing up. So I think we just need to reiterate on that and go back to remembering that, okay, we're showing up and we're increasing our visibility, but what are we saying? Are we being intentional? Is it the right energy? Because again, I mentioned energy is contagious. That doesn't just relate to how our customers are going to respond to us or how our team are going to respond to us in terms of them being energized and going out and doing the things that we want them to do to earn money. It's how we're engaging with people on a way in which we can connect with them in order to show how amazing this business opportunity truly is. So I think we just need to, again, there's a lot of things to think about in those 10 minutes. We might want to stretch it to half an hour. Just get like a notepad out and a pen and just think like, okay, so I've spent the last few weeks being visible. Now I need to make sure that I continue with that level of visibility, but I get really intentional. And then also track what it is you're doing. So have these measurements because if you've got no measurements, if you don't know your numbers, you're going to really struggle to grow. So if it's like your conversations that you're wanting to have, well, whoever's having the most conversations, they're going to be the people that are winning. So track them and then take action on it. Know your numbers. How many reach outs do you need to do and follow ups? All of that engagement that you will have had over these last few weeks, which hopefully you have seen an increase. If it's just numbers for numbers' sake, then we're not here to just fluff our egos. We're here to build businesses and we're here to change lives. We're here to help make 1,000 people wealthy, 1,000 women wealthy, earning £1,000 a month minimum. And we know how they can do that. But if we're getting all these new followers and all this engagement and we're not converting them, then we've got an issue. So that is where I think these next 10 days, if we can set about a challenge to have more follow-ups, have more reach outs, think about what sales we can do. So I was just putting I mean, you can have a look at your numbers yourself, But personally, I'm going to go on my figures and my sales, and I'm going to challenge myself, and I challenge you to do the same thing. I mean, if you want to go and double it, what I'm saying now to challenge you, then do it. But please don't turn around and be like, I'm going to do half of what you said, because that's not a challenge. That's not a challenge at all. I'm going to aim to double my PV for this month that I've done so far over the next 10 days. And same with my recruits as well. I want to double the recruits that I've had already over the next 10 days. But not only that, I want them qualified as well, not just signing up with the £5. I want them getting the other kits. I want them buying the products and making sure that I'm checking in with them. Also, just going back to the measurements, have a look and think how many people have you got in the Success Hub onboarding system right now? So even though somebody signs up for £5, it doesn't mean that they're excluded from doing the onboarding. If anything, I would encourage them to do it, because the aim of it is by the end of the 10 days, they know how to show up and what to do. They've got the basics there, they've got the resources, and they are more confident by the end of it. And hopefully, they'll have had their first order as well within those first 10 days. So, if we want them to get started and get started strong, and we're going to be closing all these sales, we're going to be following up with people, going to be getting all these different people signed up. We want to make sure that they are starting off strong. Right, I'm going to have a look at any comments here. What time are we on? I feel like I did that pretty quickly. Let's see. Sarah Thomas is laughing at me putting the stitch in, not sewing. I've noticed a few of you haven't got your video on, so I know some of you have got excuses, or I probably should not have said that I'm going to ask you to talk, because then you're either not bothered to come on or you're hiding. Right. So has anybody got any sort of wins? What's been working for them? How are you getting your sales this month? How are you getting your sponsors? How are you getting them started? Has anybody got anything that they would like to offer? Look at Perfect Paris house party. Karen, do you want to talk about that? Oh, Perfect Pairs. Oh, I'm all of a sudden dyslexic. I've got my glasses on as well. Perfect Pairs, not Perfect Paris. Honestly, house party. See, I saw house party and thought Paris, and yeah, I'm seeing Prosecco and all sorts coming up now. Do you want to unmute yourself and talk about that, Karen?
Yeah, I mean you can have prosecco and lots of music at a house party, Sadie. It makes them spend more money. It's fine. Um, this time of year, particularly with my age group, um, they're looking for ideas for Christmas. They're looking for get-togethers with their friends. That's not necessarily going out um, to a restaurant or a club or anything like that or a pub. So we encourage prosecco parties and perfect pairs parties. So usually I'll take a group of pharmacy products, but things that I can pair up. And so like the mascara and the primer, the chocolate collagen and the coffee, so that you have like a mocha, some gummies and L-carnitine. You just look at things that you can pair up, and because I've got so much stuff here, everybody that buys something gets a raffle ticket, that places an order, gets a raffle ticket to win a product that's drawn at the end of the night. And I always offer say to my hostesses, if they have an order worth more than £200, then they can have a product that I've got in my stock box. They can choose any product in that stock box for themselves, or they can have 10% discount on their own order. And I also use that option for people that want to book a party. If you want to book a party, I can offer you the same as your friend's got. So it's old school, but it works, particularly this time of year because people like having a few drinks and they've got the music going. And I usually get there about 7:30, and I'm usually out of there by about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Um, get your orders that way. And if you've got somebody that's not comfortable doing that, then ask them if they want a messenger party. It's old stuff. It's nothing new, but it works.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like Vicky, I think she spoke on Sunday Socials a few weeks ago. She does the majority of her sales, and the women that she has in her team, they do face to face. They do stalls, they go to like different events, and that's how they get their sales.
Mm.
But they're not just getting little bits of sales, like they're consistently getting 500,000, 1,500 PV every month just from doing their sales. So
And you can look at like the I've got the winter focus. So I've got it all written down here. So like November to January, we have like a wellness focus. And I would challenge the team, okay, then you find something that's a part of your wellness focus that you use and this is what I've got ready for my team meeting. You choose something that you want to promote between November and January as your wellness focus and what the benefits are. Have a skincare focus. So promote a skincare product. Ideally, you'd want to do these alternate days so that you'd have a wellness product one day, a skincare product another day. On the go looks is another thing. Things that a look you can pull together in 10 minutes that doesn't look overly made up, that you can just go out and be sort of living your normal life in.
yeah, I love that. I love that. It's just so simple. But I think you're absolutely right. I think sometimes we can overcomplicate these things and think that we need to be super smart and fancy on social media with our reels and stuff. But again, like visibility isn't just about being visible on social media. It's about showing up in real life with real people. And I know some of us are not really very keen on the idea of that. But I would just try it. I remember because I can be quite shy at times, believe it or not. And the thought of going to somebody's house, even though I might have known one of the people, but on the whole, a load of strangers, I did not like the thought of it. I felt really, really shy and you feel vulnerable. But once you get into it and you realize that those people have turned up because they're not just supporting the friend, but they're interested in what it is that you've got to show them. And if it's on the premise of winter wellness, or if it's makeup, or if it's just things that are going to make you feel good, or if it's Christmas shopping, people have made a decision to turn up. They don't have to spend their time doing that. I think people are very smart and precious over where they spend their time. So if you was to host an event like that, and you don't necessarily have to start off hosting it for somebody else, you can do it for yourself and invite your friends. Or if you've become a little bit of a recluse and you think, well, I don't really have that many friends like that I would have close by or would come around, just ask one of them to host it and go to their house. They invite their connections, and it's a great way of widening your network and also getting those sales. And nobody goes to a house party like that, a perfect pairs party, which I thought was something else, by the way. But no one's going to go to any of those sorts of parties and not buy anything. You give them an order form, you give them a catalogue, you should have the products out there so they can try it. They are going to be buying something. And if you can get a few people there, then that's great. Hiba, I bet you look absolutely beautiful. So that's fine. I understand. Let's have a look. Take a few leaflets to your local coffee mornings. Where's that gone? I can't see it. I was just reading it. You had some really good ideas there. Unless oh, there it's gone. It's there. I found it. Drop some off at your GP, at local churches. That is such a good idea. I'll name Alison as well. Alison is one of not just the top sellers within my organisation, but one of the top sellers in the UK. And she's about to be in the royalty circle. She did massive, she does online, it's primarily online. She's actually blind. Her husband does the social media side for her, and she talks about her wellness routine, her health benefits, her ailments, and how she's had solutions from them and how it looks for her. And her sales are absolutely phenomenal. But her sons actually did her some leaflets and took them round her village and town where she lives, and then the broader streets around that. And she had the biggest sales month that she's ever had. I think it was like 2,500 PV that month. But when you put that into like actual money, you're talking 3,500 pounds of orders in 1 month. And she was actually quite shocked. But that was literally just from going around canvassing the streets with flyers. So, if you don't want to be hosting parties, that's great. But you're right, like this time of year, I think we have the products, we've got like it's Tenner Tuesday. That's just for alliteration. That's there all the time. We've got a massive range of products that are priced brilliantly. We've got limited edition ones, which let's just remember the products that are limited edition, that once they sell out, they will go. So again, that needs to create some kind of urgency. So if somebody really likes one of the body products, then we need to be selling out of it. You know, we want these limited edition products to be limited and not linger for a while. We want them to sell. But they're great for like little bundles, Christmas bundles, mystery bags, or those Christmas baubles that you can get, or the little cute bags. There's loads of different ideas that you can put together and think outside the box. We don't always have to wait for the corporate gifting. I know it's coming. We're all eager beavers for it. Personally, I'd like to get Halloween out first, and then think about Christmas. But there are some crazy people out there that start their Christmas shopping in September. So if you know, we're in the business of sales, so let's cater to those people. So when we're sharing the products and the benefits and things, talk about how they could be really good for Christmas presents, particularly makeup and the body products. Yeah, let's have a look and see a little tip for order forms at home parties too. Yeah, Megan, do you want to speak about that? Do you want to unmute yourself?
I'll unmute, but my camera's staying off because I'm in bed and no one wants to see that. Um, yeah, so order forms, it's funny that Karen was just saying it's from her Ann Summers days. So obviously my background, I was one of the top earners in Ann Summers, and this is actually from Ann Summers as well. So we used to do actual physical paper order forms, and I'd give them out to every single person at the party at the start of the party, just assuming that they're going to buy something, because if they've got an order form in their hand, it's like a psychological sale technique where they're looking at it. I tell them whilst I'm setting up, I'll put your names down so that, when I do my giveaway, I've got your details, blah, 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 blah. And that is one of the reasons, but it's not really why I'm doing it. So on that order form, there's like a little table that I make, and it just says like put the product down and the quantity that you want to order, and then the color if it's makeup product or whatever. Now, 5 lines down, I would highlight that line with a colored highlighter. And the first thing I say after I've introduced myself is, if you get to the green line, you're a winner. And what I would do is I'd basically, again, similar to what KSI was just saying, is similar to if you do a £200 order, you get a freebie. I would do, if you get to the green line, you get a prize, and it doesn't have to be something crazy. So what I would normally do is look at their order form. If it just so happens that they've only spent, like, let's say 20 quid, even though they've ordered 5 products, which probably with pharmacy it's not going to happen because we've got really good price points, then I would maybe only do like a little sample that's going to cost me like £1 or something. Whereas if they've ordered, 5 £50 products and I've got like a £250 order, I would do a freebie that's maybe worth £10 or £15, because it's not a huge chunk of my commission. It's something I'm willing to give. So yeah, it's a really customizable way where you can kind of like decipher your earnings, but also it's just like a psychological sales technique where it gets them wanting to get to that green line. Because if you've ordered 4 things, you're like, oh well, shit, I've only got one more, and then I'm at the green line, so I may as well just add it on. So yeah, that was my little tip.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm thinking, I want to go there and do that now. I want to get that out. But yeah, but the great thing is as well is like you're saying, with like depending on what they sell, you can control what you do. Like we get a lot of freebies ourselves when we place in our orders. And I don't know about you, but like I'm looking now, I've got all sorts of like bits and bobs that I've got free. So you could just use something from your stock, so it doesn't have to eat out of your commission either. But also don't forget we have our free product at £75. So if you do any sort of home party like this, and you've got a singular order that is going over like the 75, £80 mark, then add your freebie to it, and you could, whether you're going to ship it to them or you're going to put it together yourself, like if they live local, it's entirely up to you. But either way, we can utilize the freebies that corporate give us. So that's great. So yeah, who's going to go out and get some parties booked then? I'd say let's see a show of hands, but there's only like Jenny and Karen and Claire that's got the cameras on. Everyone else is hiding. But yeah, I think it's such a great idea. And I'm just trying to think like, if you've got so if say for instance you're not going to go out and book an actual physical party and you're going to do it in like a messenger sale, um, Or are you going to do it, say, for instance, in a WhatsApp broadcast? Because I think your WhatsApp broadcasts work really well, especially with Facebook and how they can get a little bit, I don't know, blocking happy and stopping you from doing things and suspending you from Messenger and stuff. Might be worth doing it on WhatsApp. Plus, if you've got them in a broadcast list, then you can always utilize that for something else later on. But yeah, you could actually have an online order form as well and do the same sort of thing. Highlight it and just say when you get down to that bit, you get a freebie. So I think that's an amazing idea. I love it. But yeah, absolutely with the paper ones. Like I've been to like Temple Spa, Body Shop parties, and they hand you it there, and then they go around and they give you all the products to try. So you feel obliged. Like you've not, they say to you, you don't have to buy anything, but you bloody will do because you're all polite. It's a psychological thing. But also it's nice, to go along, you have a few laughs, you have a drink, you try it all, you like it, and then you shop and you buy some things that you feel good when you've got it, and then when it feel even better when it comes along. So yeah, that's really good. But we don't have to be waiting for November to do that. We've still got 10 days left of the month. We've still got another one of these calls before the month ends. I just think it's a very, very good time to get intentional, to just reflect over the last couple of weeks and then get intentional about the next 10 days, touch base with our teams. Because the last thing you want to do is wait till next Tuesday, realize you've only got a couple of days left of the month. It's Halloween on Friday, so you're either going to be out trick-or-treating, giving sweets to people, or pretending that you're not at home and you turned your lights off and you're hiding from people knocking at your door. Either way, it's a crazy one on Friday. So it would be a really good idea if we was to go and have a look at your business, see what your goals are, see what your team's goals are, and then just break it down and maybe even get them smashed by Thursday. So Friday is kind of like a bonus day. Like personally, that's what I would have a look at doing so that you can be present on Friday, whatever it is you're doing, what eating sweets, drinking wine, eating hot dogs, entertaining kids, hiding from kids, whatever it is. Yeah. So has anybody got anything else? Oh, we've got teachers' gifts. That's such a good idea. Teachers' gifts for school mums. Yeah. You and Sarah have got a couple of things coming up. You've got your recruitment events in November, haven't you, Sarah? Um, so weird, Sarah being quiet. Let's see. Yes. Right, so has anybody got anything else to say? If not, we'll wrap this up because I think we've managed to keep it to 30 minutes. 10-minute everyday look, skincare items, wellness that can be utilised every day. Yeah, and you can go live about those things as well. You can go live, you can do stories, you can do reels, you can talk to people on the street. I made a mistake yesterday of getting to the school pickup like 3 minutes early. I walked there and then I just looked around. I'm like, oh no, I've got here early. I'm like, who am I going to have an awkward conversation with? Then you're having a chat out, yeah, what you been up to? Oh, just busy. Business is like really busy, people shopping for Christmas. And then she's like, oh yeah, I really need to get another mascara. So I sold the mascara. So turns out not being antisocial can actually be in your favour and making sure that you're opening your mouth and telling people that you have a business and what your business is and how it could benefit them. And then utilising the fact that Christmas is around the corner. And it's not just presents that they need to be shopping for other people. I like to get treats for myself as well. I don't know about you, especially if it's like makeup or body things. I like it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bundles like what they call Pampers, hamper Pampers. I personally would love one of those, but I don't mind saying this, but there's no way Rob is gonna get me a hamper full of all these yummy products that I absolutely love. So I'm just gonna get myself it. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm not the only mum that's going to be out there, or the only wife that's going to be in the same sort of situation. And don't forget, we can shop for men as well. So whereas like previously some of us may have gone to husbands and said, have you got your wife a present yet? No, you left it till the last minute. Okay, then here we go. We can do the same thing. We can go to women. I was like, do you know what to get your husband? Do you want some aftershave? Because trust me, you are going to love it. It's a treat for him and it's a treat for you too. But right, yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's make the most of the £5 sign-ups. Let's check our energies. I will be taking 10 minutes now to just decompress, whilst this uploads so that we've got the recording, because I know it'll be about 20 people. Have you got the recording? So I will give myself 10 minutes to decompress and do that. If anyone has any other suggestions or something's working really, really well, please share it in the leader circle. Because if one wins, we all win. And I'm not one to gatekeep on these ideas. I think it's great when we can all come together and share them. And then some of you, I'm going to see you on Friday, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. I still haven't got my outfits completely sorted yet, but it'll be fine. I'll figure it out. So, right, thank you all so much, and go smash the last 10 days and see some of you Friday. Bye.